A lot of y'all are friends with people who are only friends with you because of what you can offer them. The benefits that come along with being your friend. Some of y'all are friends with people only because it's aesthetically pleasing. You know, on the pictures, the photos, y'all look a certain way. The BBLs, colorism, pretty privilege. Some of y'all have friends that are secretly in competition with you. They legit want your life. And you know what they say? The best way to become who you want to be or get what you want is to surround yourself with that. Pay attention. Some of y'all have friends that don't even like y'all for real. They just tolerate you. They play up under you because they say you're supposed to keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. Some of y'all got friends that keep y'all around only to be their sounding board, their Dr. Phyllis, their free therapist, because they will never tell their family and other friends just how boy crazy or woman crazy they are, but they okay with telling you. As a matter of fact, these are the type of people that will never let you speak on yourself. Conversation is always about them. Y'all can literally start off talking about you, and somehow, some way, they're going to make it about them. That's because they don't care for real. Some of y'all are only friends with people because y'all trauma bond. Y'all went through the same experiences. Y'all can relate to one another. Some of y'all don't like the same people. So that's how y'all like this. Child, misery loves company. Some of y'all are only friends with people because y'all grew up together. Y'all childhood friends. Your mindset is quantity over quality. Even though y'all have outgrown one another, even though there's no reciprocity, y'all tolerate each other because of time. How long you knew the person. It's giving forced friendship. Some of y'all are friends with people who has never been there for you during hardships. They have never stood in the paint and showed their loyalty. Yet always somehow, some way reappear when the going is going. Always there for the good. Think back. Remember every time you was in that weary season, who was there? How did you get through that? I'm pretty sure you can agree that it was God. But God. Nobody else but God. That's the only person that comforted you. Everybody else blew in the wind. Pay attention. Some of y'all are friends with people only because you don't want to be lonely. Y'all so codependent on one another. You don't want to start over from scratch because you're comfortable. A lot of y'all don't like to be outside your comfort zone. A lot of y'all are afraid of a fresh start. Y'all done scrolled so much on TikTok and it got you scared. Those story times of them horror friends are for you to take heed, not to keep you in situations that don't even serve you. Some of y'all are friends with people that keep you near to keep you down. You run to them and speak on everything. You run to them to get validation. What should I do? You think I should do this? What you think I should do next? And half of the time, them people are preying on your downfall. They come and ask you all these questions. What's your next move? So what you gonna do? You shut everything. And what they do? They throw negativity in the mix to hinder you, to get you off track, to discourage you. By the way, never share your dreams until the magic actually happens. Some of y'all are friends with people who on a daily basis throw shady comments, jokes. Child, there's truth in those jokes. As a matter of fact, those comments are truly how they feel. Pay attention. Some of y'all are still friends with people because you lack the knowledge of what a real friend is, or what a healthy friendship looks like. So let me tell you my idea of a good friend. Someone who accepts you for who you are, flaws and all. Someone who supports you and is there for you through thick and thin, ups and downs. Someone who gives and not just do all the taking. Someone that communicates and not just up and ghost you. Someone who accepts your flaws. Someone who's scared to lose you. Who's grateful that you're in their life. Someone that supports you and remain positive when you may not necessarily have that in you at that time. But they are also realistic and honest. They want the best for you, but they don't just tell you what you want to hear. Instead, they tell you what's best for you. A real friend is not a people pleaser. They include you in your plans. They don't last minute you. They hold you accountable. They are trustworthy. Somebody who shows empathy, sympathy, someone who gives you grace. Because let's face it, we all are not perfect. We're humans. someone who's non-judgmental, someone that offers encouragement. But it works on both ends, though. Let me make that clear. Life is about lessons being learned and growth from those lessons. And in my opinion, by a certain age, there should be some self-awareness, boundaries in place, evaluations of relationships, communications if there's any lack thereof, and releasing of those that no longer serve you or can't respect your boundaries. When I went through my awakening season, I came into the realization of a lot of things I just mentioned. I also realized that once I established boundaries and stood on business, a lot of true colors were revealed. People didn't respect it. They wanted that same Kira from years ago. And at the time, I could not understand why I was being stripped from all these people. Why would they leave and why would they ghosting me? Why did I have the urge to want to leave and not be around them? I couldn't understand my desires to remove myself. I was so hurt. I was confused. I was angry. I was lonely, because you're definitely going to be lonely in this process. I just felt like I was being punished. I kept repeating cycles because I wasn't catching on to the lessons the first time. I pretty much was all the emotions you could ever imagine. And then I heard, draw near to me and I'll draw closer to you. I realized that this was my season. The reason for me being in this seclusion was to learn to lean more on God and not on man. See, I put a lot of trust and expectations in people, not realizing that they couldn't give me not half of the things that God could possibly give. I literally had to learn to stop putting these expectations on folks because they're human just like myself. I had to learn that everything I needed was provided by God. I didn't need nothing else. That allowed me to be a little bit more comfortable in this season. It allowed me to be a little bit more content. I personally feel that God allowed a lot of people to show their true colors, to walk away, to turn their backs on me, for these feelings to come about, to want to leave, the desire to not want to be around anymore, so that he can show me that he's able. I personally feel like I would have never learned these lessons if he had not removed me out of those spaces because it was too loud, too noisy, too much of distractions. This was best for me. It's lonely here, don't get me wrong, but it was best for me. You know what I did in this season and what you can do if you're in this season currently? Get to know yourself better. I fell in love with me again. I learned me again. I showed up for myself. I was being the mirroring image of what I was expecting from others. I showed up for myself how I believed I deserved others to show up for me. I also believed during this season that by eliminating meaningless friendship made space for the good to come in. I made room for my lifetime friends because they say there's people here for a reason, a season, and a lifetime. Having no friends, to be honest, is a spiritual cleansing in my opinion. It's healing, honey. This is when you can literally dig deep and become comfortable with oneself. A lot of y'all are not great friends or don't have some because you don't know how to be. Maybe you've had bad personal experiences and so forth. This is the time before you hop into something else to dig deep inside and become the best version of yourself so that you can show up for the friend and allow that person to show up the way you're showing up as well. Girl, I date myself. I travel solo. I don't mind eating alone. Because one thing I love to do is eat. I just learned how to enjoy my own company. I'm also an only child, so that may help a little bit. That may help a little bit. You know, I'm probably just a loner by nature. It definitely took some getting used to. It wasn't always a great feeling to be in this space, to be alone. But I tell you what, I'd rather be alone than be around people that I'm unsure of and that are unsure of me. I took this time to heal because I realized that a lot of things triggered me. I created a non-negotiable list. That way I'm no longer settling. It's a process, but it will be worth it in the end. I have been in the most peace I have ever been in a long time. Sadly, Charlie, be your family too. All this I just spoke on does not only apply to friendships. It be the family too. And you know what? Here's your sign that it's okay to not show up at the festivities this year. You don't have to be the bigger person. You're not being petty. Because what you felt last time when you was around the family is valid. Don't suppress it. Their behaviors has nothing to do with you and everything to do with them and their inner issues. They are projecting their inner problems on you. It's a defense mechanism to avoid confronting uncomfortable emotions like guilt, shame, insecurities. Wish them well and keep it moving, because it ain't your fault. Don't go side-eyeing all your friendships now. If you got some good friends in your corner, because good, genuine people do exist. If you have that already in your circle, count it as a blessing. Add that to the list of things to be grateful for today. As a matter of fact, send them something on you. $20 for coffee, $10 for, I don't know. I mean, at this point, can you eat for $10? Send them a thank you for being you message. Make their day, because that's not easy to come by. I done pretty much talked your ear off enough, honey. I just feel like we are all collectively entering into a season where we don't have to fake it till we make it. If it's not agreeing with our soul, then we must let it go.